Good morning, beloveds. I'm having a bit of a morning because today is my rest day. That means we turn the alarms off. That was 10 after 8 when Tom went, "Hey, it's 10 after 8. Maybe you should get up." Yeah, maybe I should get up. I was also watching the news, the morning show that we typically have on in the background. It helps us kind of keep track of time. And they mentioned that tomorrow is the 10th anniversary of the Boston bombing. And I only mention it because that was the incident when that happened where I kind of sat up, looked around in the world and went, yeah, this is not okay. And I'm going to do something about it, and went to ministerial school. Yeah, that's when it happened. So, which is, yeah, because I started ministerial school in 2013, I guess. So that's the anniversary coming up. All right. Started in the fall semester. Whew. April 14th. Our author today is Elena Goforth Whitehead. And this was published in Creative Thought in February of 1965, which was a Science of Mind magazine, or publishing, because it says copyright to the Science of Mind publishing. So, Creative Thought, 1965. Okay. I resolve to grow. And there is a quote, "We beseech ye, brethren, that ye increase more and more." And that is 1 Thessalonians 4:10. Yesterday is gone, and with it the former standard. The benevolent passage of the day, the month, the year paves the way for the new day, the greater challenges, and the more abundant life. I release yesterday to history and joyfully embrace the new day and the advancing standard. Only one resolution do I make: to grow. Knowing that all growth takes place first in consciousness, I embark daily on the exciting venture of raising my consciousness to a new level. This I achieve by expanding my awareness that I am made in the image of God, the infinite. From the center of my heightening consciousness, my experience takes on greater and greater dimensions. I function more and more effectively because I am more and more in tune with the divine intelligence. I progress in all areas that I have been increasing access to the spiritual power of my indwelling God presence. I welcome the greater good, the fuller life, the finer standard, which are the divine potentials of this new day. So my immediate thought is, wow, that's a heck of a treatment. If I was going to do a treatment for growth, then absolutely this would be an excellent template to put in the body of my treatment. The resolution part. It's like, this is what I want. Okay. But I also appreciate where she goes in and she says, okay, well, this is what I'm working on and this is how I'm doing it. Okay. So yesterday is gone. We just let it go. And with it, the former standard. So it's like, okay, whatever standard I lived up to yesterday, I'm going to let that go. And today I'm going to move the mark just a little bit. That's how you make progress. It's like you just move the mark a little bit every day. Push a little bit more, do a little bit more. Now, does that mean you don't take days of rest? Of course not. As I said, today is my day of rest. So you can give yourself a day of rest if it's gotten to be too much. But every day you just push that mark just a little bit. Okay. And what we're talking about is spiritual awareness. That one, yeah, you want a well-worn path to your spiritual awareness. So I release yesterday to history and joyfully embrace the new day. So I'm going to let yesterday go, and I'm joyfully embracing today. This is her advice. The only resolution she makes is to grow. Okay. And how does she grow? By knowing that that growth takes place first in consciousness. So I embark daily. This is why we talk about daily spiritual practice, on the exciting venture of raising my consciousness to a new level. Okay, so how do I grow? by raising my consciousness every day. Daily spiritual practice. And then she follows it up by telling you what the daily spiritual practice is. I achieve my expanding awareness that I am made in the image of God. Every day she looks in the mirror and she sees God looking back at her. So she believes it a little bit more. All right. From the center of my heightening consciousness, my experience takes on greater and greater dimension. I function more and more effectively because I am more and more in tune with the divine intelligence. When you look in the mirror every day and say, I am made in the image of God, and then you make that daily spiritual journey to the source of your own being, to the center of your own being, to the infinite source of, then naturally you are going to come more into alignment with the divine intelligence. Therefore, the divine intelligence is flowing through you. It's like every day you look in the mirror and go, I am divine intelligence. Divine intelligence flows through me. And then she says, I progress in all of the areas because I am increasing access to the spiritual power of my indwelling God presence. Every day I'm getting up and I'm looking at I'm looking at the source of my own being. I'm recognizing that it is coming through me. And then she says, I welcome the greater good, the fuller life, the finer self, which are the divine potentials of this new day. So all of this is always available. All of this is always in potential. God's idea of you is perfect. So what it is that we do is daily we go back to the source of our own being and we look at God's idea of us. And it's also being willing to let go of yesterday. It's like, okay, so this is what happened yesterday. And I can let that go. And I'm going to look at God's idea of me. And I'm going to push a little bit closer to that. I'm going to come more fully into alignment with that which made me. And I'm going to open up to the potential. And do so joyfully. It's like we want to come into alignment with the qualities of God. Well, we should practice the qualities of God. Well, the qualities of God are joy. They are happiness. They are healing. They are creativity. They are peace. So we want to practice the qualities of God, come more fully into alignment with the qualities of God, and then embrace the new standard there. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to grow. And how do we do that? Well, she told you. Daily, regular spiritual practice. Go meet the source of your own being. And that looks like treatment, and that looks like meditation, and that looks like reading sacred books, and that looks like listening to things like this, where, spiritually minded people talk about their process. Or, in my case, read other spiritually minded people's process and then discuss it. That's how we grow. And we grow every day. And some days we rest, and some days we grow a lot, and some days we grow a little. The only marker that matters is you. So don't compare yourself to others. That's what your growth is, between you and the source of your own being. You and the God of your understanding. And the reason why I say the God of your understanding is because the truth is God is so much bigger that none of us are going to fully understand God. We all have a piece. So the God of my understanding. Well, the God of my understanding is the God of love. So we can compare notes. So you have your mission. The other mission, and if we are going to grow, then growth requires self-care. And so that is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. All right. I recommend this every day. The reason is self-care. Until I got to ministerial school, I'd never really heard of self-care. I mean, I understood it, because you got to sleep sometime if you're going to keep going. But when I was in ministerial school, they were like, you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are going to live a life of service, the first person you have to take care of is yourself. And so that's what this is about. So the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself is absolutely self-care. It is also about creating a well-worn path to the source of your own being, to the source of infinite love, infinite kindness, infinite compassion. When we recognize that these are not finite sources, finite resources, but they have an infinite source, why not create that as your first response? And it doesn't, kindness and compassion and love does not make you weak. In fact, it is the strong people who are able to be loving, kind, and compassionate. It takes a strength beyond, especially when we walk into situations and we go, oh, well, that it takes a strong person to be loving, kind, and compassionate in messy situations. Practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. And more importantly, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Absolutely. Absolutely. You are a beloved child of God. So of course you deserve your own love, kindness, and compassion. And when you practice on yourself, you create a bank. So that when you go to make a withdrawal of love, kindness, and compassion for people in your life that need it, like you got that relationship with that bank manager, and that love, kindness, and compassion is going to flow from an infinite source. And it doesn't make you a doormat. And it doesn't mean that you don't have good boundaries. In fact, it does mean you have good boundaries. And it means that you have, that when people are behaving badly, then you can look at the situation and say, all right, the peace of God be with you. I'm going to be over here. So self-care. I also do want to remind you, because there has been that in my life, that we may only come this way once. That makes this life that we live a special occasion. And so I want you to remember, as you are practicing love, kindness, and compassion on yourself, to make room for joy. That is also a quality of God. It is something we want to come into alignment with and to practice regularly. And what I mean by that is eat dessert first. Yeah, we can take all the deep breaths before we speak that we want, but we also want to make room for joy. And sometimes that looks like eating dessert first. But it's also a reminder to wear the nice clothes, to go to the fun places, to eat the good stuff. Make room for joy. All right? So take care of yourself and make room for joy. All right. I'm going to move forward into... As always, I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. I do encourage rest, though. So I find it funny that I Resolve to Grow is on my rest day. So I'm going to remind you, there's room for it all. There's room for it all. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. Your brain works better when it's well hydrated. So drink plenty of water. I do encourage you to get early in your day bright light. I'm a little groggy this morning, because I haven't been outside and gotten that face full of sun yet. There's still time. But early in your day, bright light, it's called a circadian rhythm, that it stimulates a hormone cycle. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. I told you I'm about self-care. So please do that. And then my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time. Okay? Because I said we are made by God, of God, for God. That where we look, everywhere we look, everything is made of God. Everything is spirit. Yes, it is in the messy material realm, but so that's part of that growth that Elena was talking about is to look around and see the mess and see the truth behind it, see the reality behind it, see the spirit behind it, and then do the work to help to align with the spirit, the truth behind the mess that's going on. Okay. I fully acknowledge that the material world is messy, but I also know that there's something that we can do about it. All right. And recognizing that heaven is not a place, but a state of mind, a state of consciousness. And what Elena was asking us to do is to open the windows of our soul. That's what growth is about. It's to throw those windows open and allow heaven to remind us it's here now. And it is up to us to accept that mindset, to work that mindset, to understand that state of consciousness. And then once we get it, to throw up our lamps and light other people's paths. We may not be able to walk their path for them, but we can help light it. All right. So, that is, and as always, take him as advice. Look for the good and praise it. You can't go wrong there. You cannot go wrong there. All right. I'm going to remind you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please avail yourself of that. We do try and post light and enlightening and loving and compassionate and funny stuff. I do enjoy a good fun, that brings you along on the journey. So I'm going to remind you of that. If you want to know what's going on with the center, please email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact email. And those hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it definitely means that click here now. It'll take you right to what you want or to the person that you need that'll help you get it. So please, we've got resources. Avail yourself of them. And the same with the website, because the website, if you go to the Sunday Talks on the website, now takes you to the YouTube channel. So, all right. I'm going to take a deep breath. Recognize it as springtime and remember that I have allergies. And encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a spring day, a throw open the windows day, a resolve to grow day, a push those markers forward day, a allow divine intelligence to flow through us day, a know who we are day, look in the mirror and see God looking back at us day. A good day. And if that's too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light, a godling. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling. It's a term that Jesse came up with. We all like it. So, I want to remind you of who you are. Okay? In whom God is well pleased and well represented. That is a Bible quote, by the way. The beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. Or well pleased. The well represented was added by Jesse. So, it's in there. All right. The well represented is because you may be the only sacred literature somebody reads. You may be the only Bible somebody has encountered. Do you want to encourage them to pick up the book? Remember that. Or pick up a book, any book. Ours is the Science of Mind textbook. So, although generally I don't ask people to start with that. If you want to start with something Ernest Holmes, I encourage you to read this thing called You. And then read the Science of Mind textbook. All right. He's a much better speaker than he is a writer. And a lot of the books, like this thing called You, are transcribes of talks. So, I'm going to move forward. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. I'll be back with you around 9:15. I get to go to the park tomorrow, so yay. And to take care of yourself and know that you are loved. I will see you next time.